Hey everyone, this is Stren from ExtremeRigs.net. I just wanted to show you how to assemble the CaseLabs TX10 Plus Pedestal. When you get all the pieces out of the box, you may be a little confused. There are 4 pieces that look very similar here, and 2 of them are for the main case and 2 of them for the pedestal. They're the top and bottom of each section. Now this piece here with the 2 little nodules sticking out, that is for the top of the case. These are where the spring clips fit, and then the exterior panel just clips on right to it. So that one is definitely for the top of the case. Now you then have these 2 other pieces which are identical. And this pan is for the caster wheels. So we know that these 2 are for the bottoms of the case and the pedestal. Then this last guy, by process of elimination, is going to be for the top of the pedestal. So we're going to start building the pedestal. So we're going to use these 2 pieces, the top and bottom, coupled with this piece right here, which is the back of the pedestal, and this piece, which is the front of the pedestal. You can see the 5 1/4 drive bay is right there. So those are the 4 pieces that make up the frame. So I'm going to screw them together right now, and then I will show you a assembled pedestal. Hey guys, this is Stren from ExtremeRigs.net. This is the completed pedestal, or at least the frame. The outside panels then clip on here. So if you're trying to assemble this, there are basically 7 screws that go along the top and bottom of each frame piece. And then there's 1 little corner screw that just goes between the 2 nodule nipple type things right here. So here you can see, here's the T marking for the top, and then the top panel that mates to that has only the 4 screw holes, and then the bottom part has the full 5 for the caster. So that's really the difference between the top and the bottom. And you'll also see, here you can see the F for the front. So both the top and the bottom have that, and they both go to this front piece. And that's pretty much all you need to know for assembling the pedestal frame. So that's it for now. I'll make another video in a second for the frame of the case itself. Alright, this is the part 1 of the frame assembly. From the pedestal assembly, you remember I talked about which of the top and bottom panels are for the top and bottom. So just to go over that again, these are the 2 top and bottom parts of the frame, and you can see this has the marking for the casters, and this has the spring clip mount for the top panel. So this is definitely the top, this is definitely the bottom. In addition, we have these 2 panels here, which are the motherboard mounts. So they go kind of standing up like this, 1 for each side, and they actually have a little marking here. You can see, I assume that's for, to say that's the top side. I'm not sure if it actually matters or not, as long as you don't do one upside down. We'll find out. Then you have these pieces. These are the top and bottom of the motherboard chamber. And then what I'm not showing you here is the front and back of the frame itself. Those I would recommend doing last. I would build these panels. I would build that with these 2 motherboard vertical sections, so that you basically make the motherboard, you're kind of working from the center out. You make the motherboard area and then kind of expand out of that. So we'll see how that goes. I can't remember if that's a bad idea or not, but that's how we're gonna roll. So let's see how it goes. Okay, so now we've attached the 2 center dividers where the motherboard tray slot into. You can see the panel cutouts for the wiring. We've attached those 2 to the bottom of the motherboard chamber. So here you can see that's the bottom right there. You can see these, these screws all along here on both sides, and that's what we've just screwed in now. So now we're going to do the same to the other piece, just like this, and that's going to have basically made the center piece of the frame. And then we're going to expand out from there. Alright, so now we've finished with the motherboard chamber itself. We've screwed in the other panel. There are some few things to note when you're assembling this to get it the right way around. First of all, these bends face in towards the motherboard chamber, and this cutout here goes to the front of the case. And of course the motherboard tray, the cutout where the motherboard goes right there, goes to the back. So these should be on opposite sides, these two cutouts. And you know, whenever you're assembling frames like this, always remember, don't screw in the screws tight right away. What you're going to do is put in each screw fairly loosely so that the panels still have a bit of freedom to move around, so that when you add the panels in later, any holes still line up and you're not going to strip any threads or do anything silly to try and get the final panels on because you tightened something slightly too much when it was misaligned. So just bear that in mind. So on to the next stage, which will be putting the front or back panel on. Basically you're going to add on either the front panel here or the back panel at the bottom, and that will then give you structure to add on the top panel and the bottom panel to the right. And only then can you add on the matching side. Okay, so here you can see I chose to put the back on first. I thought it would give it a little bit more structural rigidity. I'm not sure it matters though. So to do that, there were 4 screws that attached to one piece going along here, another 4 screws here, and then the same on the side, so 4 there, and 4 running along there. That's all it's needed to attach to the back. Now I'm going to flip the case on its side and put in the top and bottom, and then the final piece of the frame will be the front. So now the case is on its side and we've attached the top and bottom. This part, as you can tell, is the bottom with the casta mount. All we did was screw in the 7 screws along the base here and the additional ones on the corner. We did the same on the top side, over here, 7 along the top and 1 on the side. So now we're in a position where we can attach the front. And the reason you can't attach the front and the back at the same time until the end is because of these guys. Essentially, because you have one of these on the top and one of these on the bottom, you need to then kind of basically put the lid on the project. That's, you know, the way this is indented, that's kind of how it works. So that's the last piece to the frame, and then we'll be done. So now the front of the case is on. The case is on its side, as you can probably tell. There's a lot of screws that hold the front on, so just go over them, make sure you've caught everything. There's 7 along the base here, plus an extra 1 on the corner and on the underside here. Then you have 1 right here to hold this bar in, and matching 1 on the base. Then along the center section we have 2 that hold the horizontal panel in, and a whole string along here to hold the vertical panel in. Another 2 for the horizontal, and the same along the left side as well. I say left because it's the left side when the case is the right way up. So that's the front, and then again at the top of the front panel you have another 7, just like the pedestal, and 1 on the corner and 1 on the underside. So at this point you're done with the frame construction, and it's kind of up to you at this point. Personally, I would attach the pedestal. You can see the pedestal's right there. before you do that, just go around. You know, I said not to tighten all the screws fully yet, so now go around, tighten them all up, and then add the pedestal, and then I would test fit the exterior frame pieces. Just clip them on, make sure everything's lining up, and then you can start building.